Okay, so for my Genius Hour project, I chose my passion area to be food, more specifically, food in relation to culture. And then that goes into my challenge question, which is what can cultural foods tell us about a country or region? So the students will be choosing a country or region, and then they're going to be doing research on the culture of that country or region. And then they're going to express that to us, me and their peers, through a presentation, which incorporates a food to express that culture. So they can choose a food that is already in existence within their country or region that encompasses that country or region's values and culture, or they can make up their own food to encompass that. And then three websites I found were National Geographic Kids, Dexters.com, and Kids World Travel Guide. These are all really kid-friendly websites, and even though my lesson is for sixth graders, I still feel like it's beneficial to have kid-friendly websites because I think that it'll help them to stay more motivated, and it will help to prevent them from getting frustrated or maybe giving up from not being able to navigate a website that wasn't designed for people of their age. And then, like I said, it's for sixth graders, and the subject is geography. It meets geography standards for sixth graders, and then it also meets sixth grade civic standards because some students might analyze the relationships of different nations in the Western Hemisphere. So if they chose a country or a region that a big part of their culture is trading with another country or region, then that would fit into that standard. And then also sixth grade oral expression and listening standards and sixth grade research, inquiry, and design standards through our research and our presentations. And then students will be doing their own research with online tools and textbooks to develop an understanding of a specific region or country. I would assume that we would have access to textbooks if this were a real situation and I were in a real classroom and whatnot. And then they also are going to be able to choose PictoChart or a slides presentation or another approved site to display their final projects in their final presentations. And then I think this kind of ties in these choices, the choices of choosing their country or region, choosing their presentation method, and choosing their food. I think that kind of helps to spark curiosity to learn more. I also think that having the kid-friendly websites does that. Just because it helps with motivation. And then also the websites being things like PictoChart or them being able to choose something that they feel is a fun way to express their research. I think that also helps them to find motivation and want to really dive into their projects. And then that kind of goes with the passion area and the challenge question because it's something fun. It's not an everyday assignment. It's different, I guess. So I get that would help to spark curiosity to learn more. And then my steps, my opening. So the Genius Hour projects will be after we have briefly looked at the geography of the Western Hemisphere, just so students can have a base knowledge of geographical concepts and relationships between individuals in those areas. And then before students begin their projects, I'll explain the passion area and the challenge question, and then students will understand that they have the freedom to dive into a country or region of their choice, and that their goal is to determine a food that culturally encompasses what their country or region is about, or they can come up with their own food. And then I have this little note here because at the beginning of each step, so my steps are my days, the different days of working on the project. We're going to have a daily check-in just so I, as the teacher, can gauge where students are within their projects. So the first day, this will be the first day of Genius Hour. Students will have this hour to choose their country or region and get any extra clarification that they need from the teacher. They'll also talk to me about their chosen country or region just so that I can make sure we don't have a bunch of duplicates and students aren't presenting on the same countries over and over again. And then after that, they'll be able to begin their research that day. And then on the second day, students will be put into small groups at the beginning of the hour just to bounce ideas off of each other and get ideas flowing. So students that maybe are stuck or don't know where to go, they can get an idea of what to do. Then they'll work on their projects for the rest of class. And then at the beginning of the hour for day 3, students will fill out a Google form so that I, as a teacher, can gauge if we need this step 4, which is just another work day. And then after that, they will get the rest of the hour to work on their projects. And then days 5 and 6 are presentation days. And then here's a quick example of a final